When oil, the liquid gold of the Middle East, is discovered in an underdeveloped Arab state, two things can happen. Either a bleak, poverty-stricken desert is transformed into an air-conditioned oasis with schools, hospitals, and roads, or the Arab ruler will trade in his aging camel for a dozen limousines and let his subjects fend for themselves.
Now that I'm an heiress, I didn't expect to have to make my own profit.
Well, you're not an heiress. Not yet.
Oh, Simon, don't be so skeptical.
Lily, you come over here bubbling with good news about your father striking it rich in Saida. Fine, I'm delighted. But I am telling you, Harry Shannon is a crook. He's been involved in a dozen shady deals from Malaya to Chile.
Dad couldn't possibly get mixed up with anyone dishonest.
Oh, that wonderful female logic.
You're suspicious of everyone. You know your problem?
No. Tell me.
You can't forget for one single second that you're the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing Simon Templar.
Show me, Mr. McAndrews. Show me on the map.
Why, Your Highness, we've made our oil strike here near the Wadi Balaya. Already we brought in 5 wells and sealed them. We're drilling 7 more here.
Mr. McAndrew, why only 7 more? And why seal the other 5?
Oh, Prince Karim, we haven't enough storage tanks for the oil yet. No, we just strike and seal, strike and seal. Later on, we'll build the tanks and the pipelines and a new harbor on the coast for the ships.
Would it not be cheaper, Mr. McAndrews, to pipe the oil direct to my neighbor, the state of Kuwait?
Oh, why? It'll be cheaper, Your Highness. And maybe better at first. But as a matter of policy, to give employment to your people.
Father, this oil development could change the lives of every man, woman, and child in Saida. It would mean electric light, water, schools, maybe even a university.
And what is needed to do all this for our people, my son?
Why, money, Father.
Exactly. Now, if a man saves money, he can use it to do some of the things you spoke of. Schools, hospitals, yes. But I do not want my country to be overrun. I do not wish my subjects to be buried beneath the decay of your civilization. My people are my children, and children do not always know what is best for them.
But, Father, Mr. McAndrew is an expert.
I know. You have the best interests of my country at heart. Do not think that I'm unappreciative. I realize that your discovery of oil has assured the future of Saida.
He has been wounded.
Find him and kill him.
But, Excellency, you promised there would be no killing.
I want this finished. Major Hussein.
But, Excellency...
Find him and shoot him immediately.
Yes, Excellency.
Hurry.
Excellency.
He's dead.
Was that not the plan, Mr. Shannet?
And so is McAndrew. And that Prime Minister would seem to be that. Except for Prince Karim.
They will find him.
They had better. The only thing that'll stabilize this new regime is Prince Karim's dead body.
Search over there. Come, follow me.
Wait. All right.
What are you waiting for, the Millennium? Hello, Ahmed.
Good evening, Mr. Kelly, sir.
Did you get Mr. McAndrew to sign those requisition forms?
No, sir.
Why not?
Mr. McAndrews, he being very much dead, sir.
What did you say?
Mr. Shannon, sir, he is signing the requisitions. And Mr. Abdulaziz, the new Prime Minister, is also signing them, sir. For the new government of the revolution, sir.
Revolution?
Yes, sir.
What happened to Mr. McAndrew?
An accident, sir. He is stepping in the way of a bullet. Mr. Shannon is telling me all. Mr. Shannon is very grieved. Very, very grieved, sir.
I bet he is.
May I go now, sir? I have the drilling heads for number 9.
Yes, go on, they're waiting for them.
Oh, Ahmed.
Just a minute. Ahmed. What really happened?
Like I say, sir, most sad accident, sir.
Yeah, most sad. Take that down to the rig. Johnny McAndrew. Most sad.
Mr. Kelly?
Prince Karim!
Mr. Kelly!
Come.
And so I fled to you, Mr. Kelly. I know Mr. McAndrew trusted you. And so did my father.
You did quite right, boy. You did quite right. Now, how's that?
That is better, thank you.
You look washed out as a raw potato.
I am strong, and I shall fight. Aziz and his followers will pay for this. I shall hang them in the desert and let the vultures tear the flesh from their bone.
Oh, save your strength, boy.
I am not a boy. I am His Highness the Imam Karim Ben Saida.
That indeed you are. And in a heap of trouble, too. There's only one place you'll be safe, and that's in Kuwait.
But if I'm in Kuwait, what can I do?
Look, I have a friend there, Mrs. McAllister. A grand woman, even if she is a Scot. You'll be safe in her villa.
I do not like to run and hide.
Maybe you'd rather stay here and die. Karim, you must live. Live to fight again and avenge your father. Are you game to try crossing the border with me?
Mr. Kelly, I trust you.
Good. Now lie down and rest. I'll fix the truck.
Well?
Nothing, Excellency. He was seen once, but he got away. We have searched every room, every corner. Nothing. He has left the town.
How?
On foot, on horse, camel even.
If he has left Sayeda, he will try to get to Kuwait. Telephone the frontier post and tell them to keep a close watch.
Better still, when you've warned the frontier guards, go there yourself, and if you see him, do the job personally.
Kill him yourself, Hussein. Understand?
Yes, Excellency.
Remember now, when we stop at the frontier post, not a sound out of you. They'll be skinning their eyes like jackals for a dead sheep. So not a sound out of you at all. Even if you have to stop breathing for a while. Are you ready now?
I'm all right, thank you, yes?
Okay.
A report from our Kuwait correspondent states that the Imam was assassinated in his palace late this afternoon. Rumored to have died with him. It's a Scottish oil expert, John McAndrew.
I had a letter from him just a week ago. It's full of excitement about the field. Simon, it can't be true.
Little things happen fast in Arab countries. They change overnight.
But it says rumoured. It doesn't say it actually happened. Oh, I can understand a head of state being killed. But my father, why? Who would do this?
I don't know.
For what reason?
Well, the oil strikes made your father a millionaire. Lilla, if this is true, my guess is Shannett's behind it.
I've got to find out the truth, Simon. I can't just sit here and wait. Help me. What can I do?
There's only one way we can be sure if your father is alive or not. That's to fly out to Said ourselves.
How do you know he has not gone through to Kuwait? You fools! That camel train. You have searched it? No! Then search it now, you dogs!
Hang on to your hats, Your Highness, and keep your mouth shut. I can see them now.
Excellency!
Oh, hello there, Captain Hussein.
Major Hussein.
Ah, to be sure, these revolutions. They're to be counted upon for a bit of quick promotion.
Your papers, Mr. Kelly. We are not here for humor.
Oh, so I gather.
You have heard the news?
Yes. Ahmed told me.
And just why are you going through to Kuwait for stores at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, because it's cooler.
Open the back of the truck.
Sure.
What is in here?
Oh, just stuff for repair at Kuwait. We don't have a forge in Wadi Balazi, you know. Ah, don't be bursting it now, making it worse than it is already.
I am glad that you are only carrying materials for repair, Mr. Kelly. Very glad. Open the barriers. You may proceed, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Major Hussein. Thank you. Miss Leela.
Mr. Kelly.
Am I looking through the back of my head, or is it yourself, Simon?
Sure, and it is myself, Mike.
Why didn't you tell me you were bringing this young blackguard?
You wouldn't let me.
I haven't seen a hair of you since Venezuela in '56.
How are you, Mike?
Oh, in trouble, son, in trouble. But later. Miss Leela, I'm terribly sorry about your dear father. He was one of my oldest and closest friends.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Now come and meet our hostess. Mrs. McAllister, Miss McAndrew.
Miss McAndrew, my deepest sympathy. I did like your father.
Thank you.
And now, the only non-Irishman with more brains than me, Simon Templar. Simon, meet my good friend, Mrs. McAllister.
How do you do, Miss Templar?
How do you do, Mrs. McAllister? I didn't know Mike had any friends.
Will you listen to him? Will you listen to him?
I'm listening, and maybe he's not so far wrong. Come on inside, all of you.
Good.
Anyways.
Make yourself at home, Miss McAndrew. Would you like a cup of tea?
I'd love one.
Mike, we got a pretty broad picture from the London papers. What's the real, Jen?
In a nutshell, Simon, Shannon and Aziz are all set to milk Saida dry.
Then if he did not cross the border, where is he?
Excellency, I've told you, we searched everywhere.
You have a man in Kuwait watching.
No, Excellency.
Fool pig must do everything. Is there nobody here who understands the importance of what is happening?
I will select a man, Excellency.
Oh, I will do it myself. But Hussein, I warn you, Prince Karim has many friends. He could recruit followers.
Yes, Excellency.
No less than 7 representatives of foreign oil companies have made bids for these concessions in the last 4 days. We are sitting on the fortune. And the whole operation is being jeopardized by the life of a 16-year-old boy.
Miss McAndrews, I was there 4 days ago when the assassins burst into the room. They shot the Imam instantly. And it was only your father's presence of mind that stopped them from shooting me. He saved my life and I owe him much. He was a great man.
Thank you, Your Highness.
This I promise you. The death of our 2 fathers shall be avenged. I shall fight and I shall raise an army.
Have a nice wee cup of tea first. You may go now, Habib. Habib's only been with me for 3 weeks. Maybe we'd better not say too much in front of him.
You think he's unreliable?
They're all unreliable. There's hardly a secret in Kuwait that can't be bought or sold for a silver coin.
Your Highness, just how do you propose to raise an army?
And the cash to buy guns.
I will go to a bank.
But there might be an easier way.
What do you mean, Simon?
Well, suppose Aziz and Shannet thought we had an army.
That wins wars, Mr. Templar.
Your Highness, sometimes fear can be just as powerful as guns.
Simon, if you have a real plan, please let's hear it.
With the death of the Imam, every oil company in the world will be bidding for the Saida concessions, right?
They probably had several already.
And once they're sold, we might just as well pack up and go home. So we initiate delaying tactics.
You mean keep Shannon and Aziz from making a deal?
Exactly. We'll offer them so much money they'll be dazzled out of their wits. I'll set myself up as a big oil magnate, keeping them on a string and at the same time operating as our mythical army's 5th column. Mrs. McAllister, would you fetch a pencil and paper? We must send off a wire straight away. Now, let's see. I must give myself a name that's really impressive. How about J. Pierpoint Sykes?
Mohammed,
Yes, Habib.
the one from Saida, where is he?
There.
You are the one from Saida?
What of it?
I hear you look for a boy of some importance. I also hear you are willing to pay. How much?
This boy of some importance. You know where he is?
I do. How much are you willing to pay?
How do you know he's the right one?
I can show him to you. You can judge.
I'll pay you £5. English.
10.
10. Take me to the place where he is at once.
Is that not the boy of some importance?
That is him.
Now remember, Your Highness, stay inside.
Yeah, and if you see any suspicious characters around the house, phone Simon and me at the hotel.
Gentlemen, do not worry. I have no fear.
Yes, well, that's exactly what does worry us. You better hold on to this.
Thank you, Mr. Templar. Thank you, my friends.
الغزال في بلاد الغرب لكن ساكن
saw Habib unlock the main gate. Something's wrong, I know it.
The gun, it's gone.
What should we do?
Come on. Phone Mr. Templar, quickly.
Hello, Mr. Templar's room. Hurry!
Hello? We'll be over in 2 minutes.
The boy, he's in there. No. To shoot would bring the police. This must be done silently. Go. Open it.
What's happened?
Habib unlocked the main gate!
You all right, son?
Prince Karam, I'm afraid we're going to have to move faster than I thought.
Mr. Templar, I have decided. I will not hide like a jackal in a cave. I will go back to my people.
That's nonsense.
It is not nonsense, Mr. Kelly. It is an order.
Mike, you know, it's not such a bad idea at that. He certainly can't stay here. So why not take him back to the oil field? Thanks. Dirty him up. Get him to work on a drilling rig.
You know, it might work at that.
And then get in touch with your pal at the Kuwait radio station. We have to borrow some equipment.
Now, just what are you up to?
Have a helicopter standing by for me at the Kuwait airport at 9 this morning.
Mr. Templar, I have a right to know what you are planning.
Very shortly, you, in the name of your people, are going to declare war on the rebel government of Saida.
Excellency, the visitors grow impatient.
I told you before, let them wait.
Shannon, these people are important oil executives. Under the circumstances, is it wise?
Abdul, they're breaking their necks to give us money. Millions and millions of pounds, dollars, lira, pesetas, rubles, you name it.
Exactly. And how long will they wait?
As long as we want them to.
But they are ready to do business.
And so is Sykes.
Sykes. All we have heard of this Mr. Pierpoint Sykes is a telegram.
And our best offer? 5 million in cash and 40% of the net profits.
Then why is he not here, this Mr. Pierpoint Sykes?
Tell our visitors we'll see no one until tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Abdul, you worry too much. We're in the driver's seat in a seller's market.
Not until Prince Karim is dead.
Oh, Rashid has probably dealt with him by now. Besides, as far as our visitors are concerned, Karim is dead and buried.
What's that? Could it be?
I have no idea.
His Excellency the Prime Minister and Mr. Shannet present their compliments, but regret it will be possible for no one to see them until tomorrow. It is regrettable, but fine waiting.
3 days. 3 days I've been waiting.
Abdul, try not to be too anxious.
Mr. Shannet, I am the Prime Minister. Remember that.
Mr. J. Pierpoint Sykes.
Mr. Sykes, a great pleasure, a very great pleasure.
Prime Minister, and...
I'm Harry Shannet.
Ah, Mr. Shannet, the discoverer of the field.
Yes. We were beginning to wonder if you'd ever arrive.
Why? I kept you waiting.
No, of course not, Mr. Sykes.
Pierpoint Sykes. So, this is Saida, huh? Who has managed to discover oil in the most uncomfortable places? And as I dislike discomfort more than I can possibly say, shall we get down to business?
By all means, please.
I prefer to stand. You received my offer?
Yes, yes.
And?
Well, there are 9 territories for concession.
So I believe. Well?
And the new oil field?
The new field is a separate matter. My offer covers only the concessions.
Only the concessions?
You do read English?
Oh, yes, yes, of course, Mr.
The
Sykes.
new field will be subject to our separate offer when I've had the opportunity to inspect it.
Oh, yes, indeed, yes.
Do you agree with the terms offered in my telegram?
Well, I feel there are 1 or 2 details that we ought to discuss, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes.
Mr. Shannet, I'm a busy man. In 4 days' time, I should be in Venezuela and 7 in Australia. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Then, have the contracts drawn up for my perusal this evening, together with maps of the territory. In the meantime, I shall fly out to inspect the field at Wadi Balea.
I should be happy to come with you.
Yes, I'm sure. But I prefer to go alone. Good morning, gentlemen.
Mr. Sykes.
Well?
Perhaps you will dine with me at the palace this evening.
Perhaps.
We shall be honored.
Yes, I'm sure.
Will 9 o'clock be convenient?
Well, if I have to, 9 o'clock's as good a time as any. Good morning, gentlemen.
Mr. Kelly?
Where's the prince?
Inside. Did you succeed, Mr. Templar?
Your Highness, I was fantastic.
Tell us. Tell us about it before I burst.
Well, I was diabolically arrogant, and they loved it. I'm dining at the palace tonight.
You cut the concessions.
I have the entire oil resources of Saida in my pocket for the next 36 hours.
I never thought you'd get away with it.
I see you got the equipment.
Yeah, and 2 more loudspeakers coming this afternoon. Karam and I will start setting things up in the wadi near the frontier after it gets dark.
Mr. Templar, who ever heard of an army with no men and no guns? Do you really think we can capture the frontier post by pretending we're an army?
Your Highness, we're going to capture the entire country.
For our guest of honor, the eyeball of the sheep.
Charming. Delicious.
What do you think of the field, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes?
Not bad.
Are you, prepared?
Very good lamb. Well, if the estimates of the potential are correct, say 3 million in cash plus 40% of the profits at crude pricing.
Crude prices?
Mr. Pierpoint Sykes means the price is paid for crude oil straight from the field, unrefined. It's a normal basis.
Mr. Shannet, my company does not deal in abnormal bases.
Oh, yes, of course. Then the oil field and the concessions would amount to some 8 million pounds.
Plus 40% of the profits.
Should we accept, Mr. Shannon?
It sounds fair to me.
When can we expect a cash deposit?
I beg your pardon.
Prime Minister, that is a question we need hardly ask.
Oh, yes, of course.
Mr. Prime Minister, there is one major question in my mind. What guarantee are you able to give me that your government can and will remain in power?
Do you doubt us?
Very much so. See, in Kuwait, I heard that the Imam's son had escaped, and that he planned to regain power to further these ends. He had raised an army.
Raised an army?
That's how the rumor goes.
Oh, it's utter nonsense.
Is it?
There will be no difficulties in that respect, Mr. Pierpont Sykes, I can assure you.
Your personal assurances are not enough, gentlemen. How can you be absolutely positive that the Imam, with his army, will not attack this very night?
Now, one last check before we declare war on these murdering hordes. Speaker A?
In position.
Good. B and C?
In position.
The fireworks?
Ready?
Right.
All is quiet.
As of now, we are at war with Saida.
Prime Minister Aziz at the palace. Emergency! Excellency, the frontier post is being attacked by a huge army.
You're drunk. It's impossible.
Thousands and thousands of them!
Men of Saida, this is your Imam speaking. This is your Imam speaking.
It's impossible.
Listen.
We have a big army with many men and big guns. We do not wish you to die. Surrender your arms. Surrender your arms.
Do not surrender.
I forbid it.
The line's gone dead. Hello? Hello?
I can't believe it.
Who are the guns? The rifle and the artillery. They've surrendered.
Bad news, Mr. Prime Minister?
Only a little incident at the frontier post, Mr. Sykes,
A small insurrection.
which my loyal troops will put down instantly, I assure you.
Yes, well, Your Excellency, I hope for your sake you're right. I couldn't possibly invest 8 million in Saida oil if I weren't convinced of the stability of the government.
Oh, that stands between us and a fortune in millions is a 16-year-old boy. We are at a complete standstill in our negotiations with Sykes.
Abdul, there's one thing about this that makes me suspicious. Where would Karim raise an army?
Where is not important. He has one. You heard so yourself. Rifles, artillery. We must somehow convince Sykes that this incident means nothing.
Yes, so that won't be easy.
Excellency.
Well?
Excellency, there is a rabble-rouser in the square shouting to the people of treason.
This is the beginning of great days for Saida. The land is rich with oil, for which the Western countries will pay many millions. And your real Imam, Prince Karim, will use this wealth justly. Not for himself, but for his people, you, his children. But first you must rise against your oppressor, Aziz. Let the worms devour him.
Shoot him.
Thrown the palace into total confusion. Just keep spreading the word that Karim has an army and is coming back to liberate his country.
Search all the streets!
Fools, you're all fools.
How about Mrs. McAllister?
Safely back in our house in Kuwait. But hurry, Simon, out the back way. They'll be searching every house in the street.
How can a man just vanish into thin air?
Don't worry, Mr. Shannon. We will find him.
For your sake, Major Hussein, I hope so. What's he doing here?
I do not know.
Call off the search.
Sir.
Ah, Mr. Shannett. Trouble?
Oh, not at all, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes. A notorious thief has been robbing the villagers.
Yes, but surely you, as treasurer of Saida, have more important things to do than chase robbers.
I make everything in Saida my affair, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes. The villagers are as close to me as my own people.
How idealistic of you. I was on my way to the palace with the hope, and I must say I was fainter with every passing minute I spend in this wretched country, that we might conclude our business.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know that the incident at the frontier post last night has been resolved. The insurgents have been punished.
Have they indeed?
Welcome. Now, Carmi boy, you and I have work to do.
But we can't leave Miss McAndrew here unprotected.
Oh, it's all right. I'll be all right.
I think you will. Now, don't let anybody in through that door. Nobody. Come on.
It was Habib, the servant to McAllister in Kuwait, who told me of the boy. That night, I went to the villa to kill him. And failed. Excellency, there were many people in the house. 20 soldiers on guard. And the Irishman from the oil field.
You mean Kelly?
And McAllister with the daughter of the McAndrew.
Alina McAndrew in Kuwait?
Yes, Excellency. And there was also another man. A man who fights like the devil incarnate. Ali was killed. As I say, we were vastly outnumbered. I fought with magnificent bravery, but it was no use.
My dear Mr. Pierpoint Sykes, what a great pleasure to see you.
Mr. Prime Minister, I'm not here for pleasure. I'm here for business. I must say I'm highly disturbed about the state of unrest in this country.
You may go now, Rashid.
Excellency, it is him.
What are you talking about?
He is the one who fights like 10 men. He was in the house of Mrs. McAllister with Prince Karim.
Is this man drunk?
Excellency, I swear it. I know it. I saw him with my own eyes.
Yes, well, if you're not going to remove this idiot, I shall remove myself.
Just a moment, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes.
Are you pointing that thing at me?
Abdul, call the guards.
I'm sure of it.
The guards!
Guards! Guards! Guards!
Prince Karim may be nearer to us than we think.
Effendi! Guard!
I die of thirst. I want water.
Then die, mongrel dog. You disturb my meditation and rest.
I'll pay you English money. £5 for a cup of water.
You have no money. I searched.
You want to bet?
Throw the money through the bars.
The water first.
Money first.
Well? No.
Open it! Excellency. Open it!
So yours, gentlemen.
My father believed in you. He trusted you.
A great mistake.
And in return, you killed him. Oh, perhaps you didn't actually fire the gun, but you murdered him.
Miss McAndrew, we're wasting time. Where is Prince Karim?
I don't know.
Is he in Saida?
I don't know that either. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
You're not in London now, Miss McAndrew. Life is cheap here and death is taken for granted. Now, where is Prince Karim?
I don't know.
Take it to the palace. Major Hussein, you're to guard this place personally. If Prince Karim comes here, he'll be shot on sight. Do you understand?
Now you know exactly what to do. Cable the representatives of all the oil companies.
Yes, Excellency.
Tell them that the oil concessions of Sayeda are now open to legitimate bids, and we await accredited representatives. Get that cable off tonight. You have a list of the addresses?
Yes, Excellency. Is that all?
Yes, yes. May Allah rid me of this dangerous boy.
One sound and you're dead, you understand?
Who are you?
I'd say I'm a man who's come for your resignation.
Resignation?
Yes. You have an army of 300 badly trained troops behind you. But the army should be the servant of the state, not of one man.
I represent the people of Sayeda.
Well, I don't think they're going to weep to see you go. I'll start writing. People of Sayeda, I'm resigning as your prime minister.
Wow. Mr. Pierpont Sykes.
He threatened me.
Drop it, Mr. Sykes. Or whatever your name is.
None.
My loyal Hussein.
You deserve your promotion, Major, even if it did come from that pig as is.
And thank you for letting me across the border.
Your Highness, you must get out of the country with all possible speed. Your friend is captured. The man who calls himself Sykes.
The devil you say?
And the girl, Miss McAndrew. They are prisoners. They will talk, Your Highness. You know the methods that will be used. You must flee tonight.
I cannot do that. These people are my friends. I cannot desert them.
You must. They are ruthless and evil.
You must get Mr. Kelly and me into the palace at once.
No, my imam. They will kill you.
That is an order, Hussein.
Lila, believe me, we won't let the lives of 2 Europeans stand between us and a fortune. Karim can mean nothing to you personally.
But I tell you, I don't know where he is.
She's telling the truth.
Just give me one good reason why I should take your word about anything, Mr. Pierpoint Sykes. If you tell us where Karim is, we'll let you leave Saida unharmed. If you refuse, our system is not exactly a model of English justice. The jail is dirty and hot, and the other prisoners are, shall we say, uncivilized.
And remarkable in their fondness for European women.
Indeed. So I suggest you talk.
Shannon, why don't you cut it out? Neither of us know where Karim is.
We waste our time, Shannon. Why do you hesitate over the girl?
Yes. Why do you? You didn't hesitate in killing her father.
Arrest him! And the girl! He has to be shot at once. Guards! Him!
Please go quietly, Excellency.
No, Hussein. I will reward you with gold, and will make you a rich man. We will find Prince Karim. Kill him, and the oil will be ours.
Traitor! Murderer! Take him away, Major.
Well, it was a wonderful war, Simon, and it looks as if it was worth it. Listen to them.
Mr. Kelly, your first duty as Minister of the Interior will be to revoke the original oil concession and make out a fresh one, assigning 50% of the rights to Miss McAndrew.
It shall be done, Your Highness.
Well, Lila, now that you're rich, what are you going to do with yourself?
Maybe I'll get married, if I can find the right husband.
Funny, I was just sitting here thinking the same thing myself.